Hello everybody and welcome back to the Clenema channel where we talk about anything movies, shows, books related. And right now I am watching Star Wars The Clone Wars. If you haven't seen, I did a whole review of Season 3 of Star Wars The Clone Wars. I've been very inconsistent with my Star Wars. I was just really sick and binged the whole thing. So Season 4 isn't fresh in my head now. And I finished Season 5. I'm moving on to Season 6. And God, that was an amazing season. Season 4 was amazing. And I'll touch on that very, very little. And I know I haven't uploaded a video on it. I know there's very few that watch this channel. This channel's brand new, by the way. But this video's, we're going to get the channel huge one day. And we're going to get a lot of views on here. And that's my excuse, by the way. I was sick. I didn't record anything about Season 4. So again, I'll touch on it very, very little. I'm just going to talk about Season 5. I thought Season 5 was absolutely fantastic. I get the hype behind Clone Wars. I get the hype. I watched Season 3. It was great. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Season 1, Season 2. But people were saying around Season 3, Season 4, it gets really good. Season 3, thoroughly enjoyed. Season 4 started off a little bit rocky for me. I didn't really like the watery episodes, like with the whole fighting for like the Atlantis place. I just didn't love it that much. Season 4, after that, was great. But moving on to Season 5, I think so far that's my favorite season. So far, Season 5 has been my favorite season. I know Season 6 and 7 are apparently fantastic. I haven't seen it yet. I am so excited to watch them. But for now, again, let's get into it because I don't know how long I've been recording now. Let's talk about Season 5 of Star Wars The Clone Wars. So the first episode is Revival, and this is where we touch on Darth Maul. Darth Maul is getting ready. Well, actually, I don't know what Darth Maul is getting ready to do. He wants to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's what I know pretty much. So Darth Maul's around, and Obi-Wan starts to talk to the pirates who's involved with Darth Maul. And by the way, I'll touch on this really quick. This is what I was talking about when I said I'll touch on Season 4 a little bit. I absolutely love the way they reintroduced Darth Maul because I didn't know any spoilers going into this. I didn't know he was coming back, which was absolutely insane, which makes a lot of sense because he just fell down the hole, right? I really love the way they changed his character for him to be like all scared of Obi-Wan Kenobi, scared of the Jedi. He was just a shell of what he once was, and it took his brother to show him, and they took like the Night Sisters like witchcraft stuff to bring him back to like the monster that he was, and now he is filled with revenge, super powerful, and he's menacing. So far, he's my favorite villain in the entire series of Star Wars. But for the beginning of this alone, I was really confused because I thought that Darth Maul, we would have the big finale with Darth Maul at the end of this season. You know what I mean? I thought Season 5 would be the end of Darth Maul's story. Actually, I kind of thought like Season 4, you know what I mean? It might have been a little arc that we saw Darth Maul, but no, it seems like I'm kind of getting the idea that he'll be the big baddie by the end of Star Wars The Clone Wars. And I have this theory, man, and we'll touch on Ahsoka in a little bit. You know what? I'm going to wait for that. I thought Darth Maul was going to kill Ahsoka. That's my prediction. If you know and that happens, don't tell me in the comments section because I'm really excited. I just want to see if my prediction's right. Moving along, we have a few episodes of the heroes trying to rescue a king, and there's not too much to talk about with it, to be honest. It's just solid Star Wars Clone Wars stuff that I watch in like seasons 1 and 2, where it's just like they had a mission, they completed the mission, that's that. And so I'm just going to move on from that into the next arc, which is very, very interesting, and I did not expect it. It is the arc with the children. So I thought it was going to be one episode. I thought it was going to be one of those filler episodes, right? We have all the kids, they're building their lightsabers, and they were just, you know, they were hunting down. It was very interesting. I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was cool to see how the lightsabers were built. But then after that episode, they get attacked by pirates, and Ahsoka is with them. So the kids, it's very, very interesting because some kids want to listen to Ahsoka, some kids want to play it safe, and then you have that other kid, the name's escaping me at the moment, though, that one kid, man, I low-key wanted him to die, but he won me over a little bit in the end. I didn't hate him for the whole time. I hated him at the beginning because first, he wanted to leave his friend in the ice, and then next up, he's just not listening to Ahsoka's orders. He's like, come on, guys, we can fight the pirates. Let's do this. And then, like, I guess it's good for a warrior, but he kind of reminds me of an unlikable Anakin in the sense where he's disobeying rules, but he doesn't know what he's getting himself into. Luckily, they succeed, and Ahsoka ends up getting captured by the pirates, which is I didn't see coming, to be honest with you. I thought we would see one episode with the kids, and then after that, we got that next episode with the kids with the pirates. I thought that would be the end of it. They would just scare the pirates off. Yay, the kids did it. You know what I mean? The kids are becoming Jedis, but no, the story continues even more. And then the next episode I actually really liked because we saw Ahsoka, like, she was all captured and stuff. She couldn't do anything, so it was up to the kids to save them, and they ended up teaming up with this like circus act on the planet to go and like hang out with the drunk pirates. And I actually really like that. I like how they didn't make the kids just, oh, you know what, the kids just is warmed up to the day, you know what I mean? All of a sudden they're super powerful, you just beat the pirates, which wouldn't happen, right? And I understand it's all fictional, like stuff like that can happen, but it seems like it would have been a stretch for them to do that. I really like how they like infiltrated a party. The pirates were drunk, they were not suspecting anything, and they were just looking at like the dude was super drunk and was like, whoa, look at the cool tricks, oh my god. And then they freed Ahsoka, and then long story short, they ended up getting away. I actually really enjoyed it. And then at this point, that one kid won me over, the one that I wasn't really liking. I was kind of hoping the Pirates would take him instead of our beloved Ahsoka. And I think there was another part after that where General Grievous just comes in and then they have a little fight with him. That episode's a little foggy with me. I don't know if I was watching that when I was really sick or something. Like I said, I binged season 4 and 5 while I was sick. Anyways, like the point is, the whole arc with the children was very good. I didn't think I would like it. I didn't like it. Was cool at first, and then I was like, okay, we're still on the kids. But then I ended up like really liking it as it closed. But then after that, we move on to R2-D2 and this brand new general, like the tiny general, and they were just like, they had their own mission. They got stranded there, and it was the general was like a little annoying, to be honest with you. And I don't know what it was about that planet. I have no idea, and this might not make any sense to you because it was just a planet of nothing. I really enjoyed the scenery of that planet. I don't know why. If you can relate to that, comment down below. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I was thinking like it could also be the art style of the Clone Wars, because that's something I really, really appreciate about the Clone Wars. I absolutely love the art style in every single season. It is getting better. I like the dark grayish tone it has to it. It's just something that I really enjoy watching. I'm one of those weirdos who likes that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm one of those weirdos who in video games just like strolls around looking at the scene, looking at the environment and being like, wow, this is really cool. Like I just played a game called Generation Zero. I spent half the game just looking at the water effects. Like I'm weird like that. I don't know. And it's really weird to say that about just a ship and nothing. I just really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the whole environment. When they got into that city, they found the clone trooper and he suffered from amnesia, and that was a really cool arc. Get him to remember himself again, and he's like, hey, you are a dishwasher. You are a dishwasher. And then they were like, no, you're a clone trooper, and they showed him that he was a clone trooper, and then he ended up saving the day. He ended up sacrificing himself, so that was nice to see too. Nice little arc there, but then we move on. Oh my god. We move on to Darth Maul again. I was so excited to see Darth Maul because he's my favorite villain in Star Wars right now. The Clone Wars, he is playing such a good character. He infiltrates the whole planet with Duchess Sabine. Is that how you say it? I don't know if it's Sabine. Duchess for sure. I'll just say Duchess. Long story short, Darth Maul takes over. He gets in with the Death Watchers, and I really like that Darth Maul ended up taking over, and it was just like a little power dynamic between him and I think it was the Mandalorian. Forgive me, my Star Wars terms aren't as good as they should be because I'm like, again, I'm not, if you haven't watched my other video, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I don't watch a lot of Star Wars stuff. I've just pretty much seen all of the movies, and I'm really enjoying this Clone Wars series. So the Death Watchers, the leader of him and Darth Maul were really button heads, but then Darth Maul low-key just ended up getting into power and taking over, and he was the leader of the group. And then they went over to Duchess. They put their own people in power. Darth Maul and him started button heads more. Everybody fights, and then Duchess ends up getting killed, and Obi-Wan is there, and his one love got killed. Obi-Wan's one true love got killed, and after all of him saying that Jedi shouldn't fall in love, he fell in love, but I guess he can't help it, right? You can't help how you feel, but that was an emotional roller coaster. I'm not doing it justice by what I'm saying, talking about it right now. Like, there is so much that went on. I just really enjoyed that whole process. I really enjoyed that whole arc of the Clone Wars. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Anything I feel like that we will see Darth Maul in is going to be fantastic. Moving on after that, I guess you could like talk about all of this being in one arc. There's a bombing at the Jedi Temple, and people think it's a Jedi. People could think it was like, hey, was this an attack? But it seems like everybody was thinking that a Jedi did this, and we'll get into Ahsoka being blamed in a little bit. But at first, Ahsoka and Anakin were responsible for finding out whoever bombed the shelter, right? And you know what? I guess we'll get into it a little bit more because there's not really too much else to say. Apparently, they end up blaming Ahsoka for it, and it's like, I don't understand how you could blame Ahsoka. This is where Anakin should have stepped up, in my opinion. Anakin should have done way more than he did than just, no, it can't be Ahsoka. It can't be Ahsoka. But then again, like thinking about it, what could you really do if everyone's coming to a decision? Ahsoka is obviously being blamed for this, and it doesn't make any sense. So she ends up escaping from Anakin. Anakin wanted to help her, but Ahsoka knows that it wouldn't work out if she went with Anakin. So they escaped, and that was very weird to see them like split up a little bit. I guess I don't know if it's necessarily foreshadowing, but they end up splitting up again, of course. So Ahsoka ends up doing her own research, right? Strolling around, then she ends up meeting up with Ventress, and that's a very interesting thing. I also like where they took Ventress's story too. She's a really interesting character, and I hope she really comes into play later on. Like maybe, I guess she can't really have her revenge against Dooku because Dooku's still alive, and that's a problem when watching a story like where you know that there's something to come after this. That's a big problem with me. I sense no danger in Obi-Wan, no danger in Count Dooku, no danger in Anakin Skywalker, because I know that they all live after this. You know what I mean? And another thing that I do want to touch on, I know I'm like bouncing around a little bit at the end here. It is also very interesting that to see like the chancellor and the whole council like just undermining everybody, and it's really starting to pick up where it's like, okay, these are the bad guys and this makes sense, but the Jedi don't know it yet, but we all know it because we know how Star Wars takes in place, right? Anyways, Ahsoka and Ventress gonna just try to find whoever did the bombing and who's framing Ahsoka, right? Because something's going on. We don't know what's going on, but it's a problem that Ahsoka's being seen with Ventress, and that's a very interesting story arc yet. And she contacts her one friend. Again, her name's escaping me. My Star Wars terminology isn't that great. She contacts her one friend. And to be honest, I kind of called this. Because I was thinking that whole time, and especially after that attack where we saw the body shape of the character, right? It could have been Ventress, but it looked like it was a female character, right? It looked like someone with Ventress's build. I actually figured it out. I really did like it, but I wasn't 100% about it. I was like, could it be Ahsoka's like one friend, even though like it doesn't make sense? Like, what motive could she possibly have? And when we did figure out it was her, she had her like made up motive where she's like, oh, the Jedi's the bad guys. And like it was a little bit of a cop out. Like it didn't make too much sense, but at the same time made for a very, very interesting plot. So eventually, after all of that, Anakin figured out the evidence by himself when Ahsoka was about to be, they were talking about putting her to death. I don't know if they actually decided that. Regardless, she got kicked out of the Jedi Order. You know what I mean? She's not with the Jedi anymore. She's blamed. She's guilty. And then Anakin came, saved the day. I called it. They figured out that's who they contacted after all of that. And Anakin and Ventress ended up working together. I loved it. I loved everything about those last episodes. One of the best arcs in the entirety of Clone Wars. Now, the ending. The ending I'm very conflicted on because I understand where Ahsoka's coming from. I understand why she wants to leave the Jedi Order. And my initial thought was, of course she's going to come back. It's Ahsoka. She's part of the Clone Wars, right? She's not necessarily the main character, but she's one of the hardcore main characters. Ahsoka is the person we've been watching this whole time. She's going to come back. She's just going to change her mind. Something bad's going to happen, and Anakin's going to go, Ahsoka, we need you. We need you. Please come back. We were so wrong. You know what I mean? And then she's going to end up coming back. But then again, like I said, we know what happens after this, and Ahsoka is nowhere to be found. So I don't know if my gut reaction was the correct reaction. Is Ahsoka going to come back? I don't know. I'm a couple episodes into season 6 right now. I'm going to fly through it because I'm really, really enjoying it. But so far, no Ahsoka. And I don't know if she's going to come back. My initial reaction, my initial plan for this whole thing, I thought I had it. I thought I was calling it. I thought that Ahsoka, because again, we haven't seen her anywhere in Star Wars, I thought she was going to have a horrible, brutal death against Darth Maul in the finale. Like in one of the last 2 episodes, probably the finale in season 7. I think it's season 7, right? It's either season 7 or season 8, whatever the last season is. I think she's going to get horribly murdered by Darth Maul, and Anakin's going to come, just get so angry, tap into that dark side of the Force, and then destroy Darth Maul. That's my solid prediction. But now that Ahsoka left the Jedi Order, we know she's not in the series. She's not in the movies of Star Wars after. Maybe this is it for Ahsoka. If this is it for Ahsoka, I don't like that ending just because like she didn't get really a goodbye where it's like, I have to go. Sorry, Master. And that was it. You know what I mean? It wasn't this like big grand finale leaving Ahsoka's done anything. And that's why I kind of still think that she's going to come back. It's just, what if she doesn't? What if she doesn't? And I was like, I don't know what to think. I'm so excited to see what happens. But my excitement won't really pay off if I don't see Ahsoka because it's just, I'm excited to see her again. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's just, I'm really conflicted. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm very intrigued in the show. I am so excited to watch season 6 and 7 of this show. Season 5 was absolutely fantastic, guys. And this is where I think I'm going to call the video for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will definitely be uploading, by the way. I know I've been iffy with my Star Wars seasons, but I'm going to be uploading season 6, season 7. No problem. Absolutely, I'm going to be uploading on it. So if you're brand new on the channel, this is a brand new channel. This is where I talk about anything that I'm watching. I just want to gush about what I really, really liked about the season. So if you want to take this journey with me on YouTube, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you're interested, check the description down below. I have a lot of other YouTube channels. Check them out, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below. What was your favorite thing about season 5 in the Clone Wars? How did you like it? And please don't spoil it for me. I haven't seen season 6 and 7 yet. So again, let me know what you think, guys. And thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.